Hemp, sisters and brothers, welcome to the house of divinity. I am Proof B, or Professor Bates. Welcome. It's Cap. I'm in California, man. Cap is a little warm, but I don't want to put my hairdo out there yet. I look like a hairdo anyway. Look like the Black Wolverine. Look, see that? Anyway, now on the last video, I talked about the system that I developed, which right now it might change, which right now I call Mel-Om, which means Mel stands for melanin, and Om is the sound, vibration, or word that comes from the center of the universe. They've checked it out scientifically with those big old dishes that they point towards space, and that's the sound that came back. So they figure there are all types of frequencies and all types of sounds, etc. But this is like the overall everything together sound. But I'm not going to get into that right now. What I wanted to get into is part of Mel-Om. Here is the use of vibrational tools. So again, on the last video, I showed the Mirkut, or pyramid, the Ankh, and I explained the Tekken, or obelisk. I didn't have one. I didn't have obelisk like sitting around. So, when you get into, well, let me say first that on this video I'm going to be talking about what we call the holy herb. Now you might call it weed, or you might, somebody else in government or something might call it a drug. I am here to unprecept the misconceptions of this most holy herb. If you think of it as a weed, if you think of it as a weed, you know, these things are already in your mind. A weed in your mind is what you read in a book. A weed does this, a weed does that. What does herbs do? So it's about, well, one thing is about that I like to help with is changing the perception of just getting high and recreation. So, where did all this stuff started? Well, first let me show you some of the tools we use in the house of divinity. First of all, when we say cannabis as a whole, we actually mean the one side, which is hemp, which is the male side, and makes clothes and bricks and food, and the male side of hemp is the provider of material. We can literally We can literally, we, a group of us can literally be self-sufficient just with one plant. Wow. On the other side is the female or feminine, or female. They both grow on one plant. The female side is what y'all call marijuana. We say, I'll break that down later. I'll break it down now. Mari-HuAna. I gotta look all this stuff up because, you know, that just don't come to you. Mary or marry, the first part, Mary means beloved, like the mother of Christ. We gonna go there. Christ, Krishna, Crystal. Let's move on. So Mary is the mother of Christ, and the name means beloved. Who? Oh, this gets. Well, anyway, H-U. See, we spell it, and before they put the Spanish J in there, it was spelled H-U, not J-U. Yeah. So who in the middle is an ancient Kemetic or ancient Egyptian, you might say, word that means the creative force of will. Now, will does not just preside in the mind, it is also a part of the heart. We call it Heru. I gotta get into all this stuff. That's why I'm doing these videos, because it's a lot of stuff. Now, so we have specific tools that we use to make this not just a, oh, I'm high, dude. Oh, is that some radical shit, man? Well, don't say shit in the chat. There's some radical stuff, dude. You understand? I'm hoping to take this a little further than that. Now, let's start. Well, one more thing. Let's start from the beginning. The oldest medical book on the planet from Ancient Khemit, and I can't think of the Tuli. No, that's another one. I can't think of the name of the book or the papyrus, but the oldest book on the planet gives remedies using cannabis, which they call shimtu, and the other, hemp, was called shimtu. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, well, see, this is how I do it to get it ready for the ancestors, because now I know they know what this is. So I have the little top here, and within the cup, the golden cup, is the holy herb man. The herb man, oh, it smells so good, man. So, to call in, wait, I forgot a piece. Let's do this first. So, everything is about vibration, right? So to get in the mood or get into the vibration, you got to have your beads. So you can kind of like feel it, like, I'm holy guy. Yeah, that's my name now. Sat. Hamada, hamada, hamada. Now that I'm physically kind of in the vibe, my mind is already there when I sat down. Now let's get this back into the vibration. So we go through the holy earth, and this kind of bell is to bring in the ancestors. Let them know we about to smoke. Now, what do we use to smoke out of? This is a coconut bong. I'll have to do a whole video just on this because it's not only used as a tool for us to smoke out of, there's also a business side specifically to this. But it was a similar bong which I created my Kung Fu, or at least the 5 hands. I'll get into that over there. But the purpose of the bong is, well, first of all, we have the water down here, right? Now, if you just smoke a pipe, just a regular pipe, first of all, you're getting all the tar that come with the herb. You're getting all the heat because you're using fire to light up the herb. So if you just smoke from pipe, that heat is going in your lungs, etc. There's a couple of other things. Now, when you use the bong, some of the heat and some of the tar is caught in this part of the bong. I really don't want to say bong, you'll know what it is now, but we call it the holy chalice because it holds, or we smoke, the holy herb in the holy chalice. Whoa. You see what I'm saying? It's a state of mind. I don't care what you believe in, if you're Islamic, if you're Christian, just like you pray over your food. A real smoker probably smoke more times a day than they eat food. And this is going into your body. Shouldn't you have a correct or higher mentality about what you're putting in your body? So that's where this comes in. I have a whole thing about the holy chalice, and I'll get into that because it actually represents the alchemy, the Taoist alchemy. Now, again, when we say cannabis, we call this the female Mari-HuAna, but we will also be dealing with the male side, the hemp. Like, I eat my hemp seeds, and I do truly believe if we had no other foods, I believe we can live off of hemp seeds and water, and I hope we at least have if we growing hemp, we're gonna have hemp seeds and we're gonna have the holy herb. Now, where all this stuff start? Who started all this stuff? They say China and somewhere out in Russia and then somewhere else. They the ones that started everything. Bullshit. Get Dag, I forgot one part. I forgot the picture of the oldest, the oldest bong on earth, at least right now, the oldest bong on earth. I got a picture of it, but I forgot to bring it up. Was found in Ethiopia. There, where Christianity is supposed to have began. Y'all want to talk some poo-poo with me? Oh, we looking at China, we looking at other people about this herb. Africa has been smoking forever. Well, I'm not going to say they've been smoking, but smoking is very old. And before that, they were using the hemp seed and stuff for other purposes. This is the most fantastic plant that I know of. I'm not a botanist or none of that stuff, but I've done my study. This plant is off the chain. So, I showed you a picture, right? I'm gonna do some reading here. Time just going past. Cannabis is known in Africa at least since 2000 BC, recorded by Euros around the 1500s from the Arabs in Africa. I hate that word, but anyway. The plant, where am I? Oh, the plant was used for snake bites, to fumigate, chow, to facilitate. I'm not the dude on the in living color. You facilitate the anus to the rectum. It was used for snake bites, to facilitate childbirth, malaria, fever, blood poisoning, anthrax. They had anthrax, asthma, dysentery, etc. This is one herb we're talking about. The one that they had illegal for so long. In the Americas, a use of cannabis probably began in the South and South America in the 15th and 16th century. The plant's seeds were brought by African slaves, especially those from Angola, and its use was common amongst blacks in rural areas. Most synonymous for cannabis in Brazil, Mari-HuAna, Daamba, Liamba. Oh, synonyms for cannabis in Brazil, Mari-HuAna, Diamba, Liamba, etc. have the root origin in the Angolan language. I'm doing that on purpose because my great-great-grandmother was a slave from Angola. There are reports of the use of cannabis in religions, popular religious rituals, especially Ibo, including African deities, and resumes the value of the plant for magical practice and treatment of disease. A little more. Fumo de Angola, or Angolan tobacco, archaeological evidence shows that smoking herb was pioneered in Africa, not China. Smoking. They didn't say nothing about the use of hemp. In Africa, where pipes predating the introduction of tobacco in Africa, there are a great number of water pipes designs, including made from, I abbreviate a lot, made from gourds. They smoked to prepare for war, to make peace, physical work, and rest and relaxation. But it's just come down to us, let's get high, dude. That was some good stuff, man. Louder, louder, louder. Now, in Ancient Khemit, where it started, where about it. We have deities. Y'all call them gods. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go into all that right now, but a deity, now in ancient Egypt, it could be both. It might actually be real beings that existed 1,000 billion years ago and then became deities. But a deity is an energy of nature. It is not a being. But now it's also both, because think of air. It's just air. In Ancient Khemit, they call it shu. I think they call it that in China too. It's gong shui. Anyway, now, if the air that you breathe in your nostrils, God gave you the breath of life. If you're breathing and that keeps you alive every second, every minute, stop trying to breathe for like 2 minutes and see what happened to your ass. We don't say ass in the chat. See, house, church, in Ancient Khemit, it would be called per, house, church, all being the same thing. Anyways, so you're breathing in air, which you have to, unless you're from somewhere else and you don't have to breathe air. It keeps you alive, and not only does it keep you alive, if you breathe, the more air you breathe, the more powerful you get. Is it not alive? And is life, does life not have some type of consciousness attached to it? It might be the consciousness of just, I guess I'll blow today. Well, that didn't sound too good. I guess I'll be wind today. You know, it's air. To do what air do. It's not thinking about what fire do. Anyway, so that's the idea coming from Ancient Khemit, which you might call Egypt. It's a little bit of both. You have to understand that these meduneta that y'all call hieroglyphics, with beetle heads and human bodies and all, they trying to get across an idea. Excuse me. It's not about, oh, I'm going to worship the beetle-headed. You have been misinformed, mistaught, and you missed the point. This is the most powerful stuff from the universe on the earth. And it was the start, the beginning, the first place that Christianity began. Ethiopia, where the first pipe was found, and Egypt, they was back and forth type. Anyways, the divinity of cannabis, she's actually the divinity of a whole lot of different things. She is, now before the male thing took over, it was females out in front. So she shot was the divinity of mathematics, of counting, of measuring, all this higher brain type stuff. But she is also the divinity of cannabis. Now, in the law, not L-A-W, the law, like L-O-A, the law, like in the stories, they talk about she shot came from the constellation Sirius, and she was sent here by Uset, who is Usar's wife. Goodness gracious. So she brought with her, and she was given the holy herb by Uset to bring here for us to also be able to go into higher thinking. Without higher thinking, how can you have higher knowledge? First understand, then understand, then you overstand. These are pictures of Shishat from Ancient Khemit. There's a statue, obviously. Also carved into the temple wall. Okay, I forgot which temple. Look it up. I'll give you enough information. Look it up. Heaven up. Carved into the wall of the temple is Sisha. Evidently, she wasn't no just everyday divinity. There it is. I'm not making this up. Now, when you look at the different photographs of the different deities, each one is represented, their power is represented by the crown that they wear. Sishat wears a 7-pointed crown. I never been to Egypt in my life, so I didn't chip this out the wall. It's not me. Believe me, people be like, that's yours. Stupid mob. There you go. Look. Am I making this up? Huh? And there you go again on the statue. Except they got it pointed forward. The star. Now, of course, there are going to be people that don't mean that it's marijuana or cannabis. I'm not going to go into my studies and all that. Sound like I'm bragging. I know something most people don't know about this stuff. Anyways, that is Queen or Sishat, who is like since we use the holy herb, both the hemp and the Mari-HuAna, Seshat is the divinity of this house. You understand? Now, if you went to Ancient Khemit or Egypt, you go to this temple over here and you go to that temple over here, and you'd be like, why every temple got a different divinity over the house? This one, Ra, might be the divinity, or Ra is like the main divinity, but this one might have Usar, and this one has another divinity over there. Now, if you were able to look down on these temples in Ancient Khemit, you would see that they all are in alignment with specific star systems. Okay, it's getting past. It's 33. I guess I should stop at 33. That's the highest level. So I'm not going to go into all that right now. Those are whole separate videos. I just wanted to talk about the holy herb, the holy chalice. We're gonna get into hemp. I got seeds. I'm waiting for my oil. I'm gonna start growing hemp. What you call before they grow up? You know, the hemp just starting out so you can just eat. Hemp, Mari-HuAna. Self-sufficiency, self-realization. Not nobody telling me what it is. If I smoke, and there's a lot of people smoking, there's a lot of people that are going to disagree with me teaching about marijuana. They'd rather just let you sit around be like, I'm not into all them drugs. And, well, there are a lot of people who are smoking, who do want to maybe learn a little higher way of using this herb. And there is an economic side. You know, I want to get into everything, the economics, the spirituality, the medicine. One herb. I'm out. Peace.